Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in. I'm going to be doing a little cropping on the fly here, so apologies in advance. I'm still learning this new wonderful layout that Pool Float has built for everybody. The new Dunka tracker capture seems to be having a little bit of an interesting time itself, but that's okay. We'll work through it. We'll get some timers. Get some timers going here if we can find them. Let's see, where does your timer live, Aerinon? Over here somewhere, I think. Over here somewhere, I think. Yep. Just have to kind of squeeze into the right spot, and then we're going to have to look around for it, which is fine, which is everything's okay here. Ooh, that looks timery. Timery's not bad, timery's not bad. But yeah, welcome in everybody. This is the AVIANART Tournament 2022 edition. Of course, there is not another edition for this just yet, but we'll get there eventually, probably. Alright, one Aerinon timer in the books, I hope. Maybe not. Well, that's somebody's timer. It may not be someone's timer, it may be someone's timer. Mr. Ed rating in with Party 3, thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. We are, as the saying goes, doing it live. I know you're down there, you timer, you. I just have to go find you. Alright, now, since I need functional trackers, let's get some functional trackers. Player 1 tracker capture, we'll go over to Aerinon. We'll swing over there until we have a tracker on the screen. Tracker on the screen is good. A little live cropping for everybody. Make sure that everything is nice and entertaining. The mode is, of course, invertacrismizer. That's hanging out. Oh, we don't have game audio yet. We'll fix that too, Mike. Don't worry. We can do that too. Where are you, Aerinon? Aerinon now has audio, and the audio is live. Game audio is live. Not used to having to do it this way. This is not the old-fashioned jank setup that I got so used to in running all of the qualifier fight nights. This is the nice upgraded version that was built for us by Pool Float. Now, the only problem with that is this is the second time that I'm using it after getting the tutorial, so... Needless to say, I am not getting this one into order quite as quickly. Well, that's fine. We're almost there. We're getting close. Close counts, right? It's not horseshoes or hand... Oh, Aerinon, why did you explode? Why is your tracker going kaboom? Aerinon, why tracker go boom? Why did your tracker decide to fall apart on me? No, this is not what I wanted. Sadness. It's an entire factory of sadness. How about that? That? Yep, okay, there we go. That's a little better. A little better. Oh no, it's alright, so it's someone's tracker that's blown up, and Aerinon was trying to use someone's tracker. Awesome. So what do we have going on here? Yeah, it's pretty clearly trying to pull something from that, but it doesn't know what. No, I don't want to pull you off of that, you thing, you. Yeah, this seems like a pool float question anyway. We'll just hide that for the moment. It's only invertacrismizer, right? It doesn't matter. I am eventually supposed to have Royale with Cheese joining me, but there was apparently a family engagement that ran a little long on her side, so until such time, it's going to be me again. Hello, everybody. Oh, someone has found a Trinex. Hello, Trinex. Don't we all love full Invertacrismizer with boss shuffle? And those anti-fairies in that particular statue pole room in Skullwoods that just seem to know how to finagle their way into that little gap and make your life miserable. This is still Erinon's tracker. I'm trying to resize based on something that will show up and then see if I can't convince it when I swap it back over. Oh, yeah, Royale with Cheese is here, is in fact lighting up, but I do not hear you at all. That's fascinating. Imagine, right? Try swapping back, nope, and as soon as I swap it back to someone's, it just doesn't want to go. Of course not. Royale, can you hear me now? That's a good question. Oh, but I hear you now, so that's an improvement. Hello, welcome in. I've been making this whole thing up as I go along, so now you're here and you can make this whole thing up as you go along while I try to figure out why someone's tracker box is just dead in the water. I would really like to know why it's having this problem, but I don't know. It's not cooperating with me today. No, it's OBS being a butt. It has nothing. It cropped the first time, and then it decided that it was just going to give up the ghost, and I don't know why, because OBS is weird sometimes.
I think it was last night. We had 6 pod smalls and the small pod big, and we never saw pod the whole time. So.
Well, that's always convenient. Also, it's nice to hear you on the stream now. Everybody else was probably saying, why does my Indium keep saying all of these things and we don't hear...
He's just talking to himself.
Why do we not? Well, that's really common. Anybody who's seen me on my personal stream is well aware of how that goes. But no, yeah, I needed to unmute the Discord side of things if anybody else was going to hear you. All of these vertical layouts that Pool Float has made are probably really nice if you're used to them, but I'm used to having all of my OBS stuff set up horizontally, and so I just kind of look at that audio mixer thing and say, yeah, that looks kind of more or less vaguely right? But part of the invertacris is that it is the ludicrous settings where there are 4 of literally everything, so 16 swords, 8 mail upgrades, and so on and so forth. So you kind of just want to rush the dungeons as much as you can here.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're dense. I think this is a fun way to play an inverted mode if maybe it's not, you know, like you're not... Like, maybe you're a little nervous about doing low percent Dark World bosses, so this is kind of a fun way to... Because you get so much stuff so fast. And with the Enemizer, we get to see random Lionels and Crystal Rollers just kind of hanging out wherever, which is also super fun. Like right here, look at this.
Yeah, look at this room. This is a wonderfully Enemized room, and someone says, well, I'm going back to the front of the dungeon, right?
It just makes it really convenient to be able to death warp when you find mail so quickly. That's all. We're helping these runners.
Well, there is also the questionable convenience of it being a ludicrous styled setup, and you will only ever have those 6 hearts that our runners have right now.
Erinon's like, why yes, I will take some of these fairies. Oh look, it's a chain chomp and a fire bar. That's a good place for those. Oh, this mode is just so silly, I love it. It's so much fun to watch. Someone's still clearing out pod here. Aerinon, is this a pyramid ledge check? I think so. This is Homemade Beer's favorite check in the game, everyone, in case you were wondering. Pyramid ledge. I have it on good authority that Beer loves this check. Hey, a sword. That's a good find. Even if, you know, Aerinon had to go all the way up to Pyramid Ledge to get it, it's still a good find. Is this Dark Turtle Room? Dark Turtle Room is terrifying. like I don't understand how people do these dark pod rooms. I can do like the dark eastern rooms and well, not even the back ones, just the front ones. But I don't get it. Oh, a sub 15-minute mirror shield. This is a blessed seed.
That's a thing that happens pretty often in Ludicrous. You'll find a full-up inventory of everything you could possibly want, and then some by the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, this is the blessed seed. Homewrecker in shambles. He doesn't even know how to handle sub 15-minute mirror shields. That's okay. Now Aeronon's gonna head into pod.
You just have to go to Hera Basement, right? You find
That's
everything
where
there.
all the good stuff is there. I mean...
Especially in True Pot Hunt, although that's not what our runners are playing today. And I did manage to find someone's tracker there eventually. I had to go in and play with it some more, but hey, we have tracking again, huzzah!
Look. Indeed. Nice job, my DM.
And that was after I had Beer give me the crash course on how to do the Dunka restream tracking, but yeah, I guess we're not using that right for the moment, which is fine. Sooner or later we're going to get that in with some trackers, and trackers are going to say, hey, this is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it's very cool. At least the auto-tracking part.
Well, it's nice because you can just set it up as a browser capture on the restreamer's end, and then the tracker just clicks the buttons, and it sends through Dunka's server right to the restreamer's version, and it shows up on stream. It's really nifty. That was a nice bomb toss into the pit by Aerinon there. I don't know that preserving Spooky is something you really need to do here, but it kind of felt like that, didn't it?
Yeah, I had no idea that's what he was doing, so...
No, I don't think he was. I think he just threw the bomb in the wrong direction.
It just ended up that way.
I think it just ended up that way.
Fairy pickups end up being a good thing there with the crystal roller hanging out in the Stalfos room right by the teleport.
That can be the trick in this mode, having enough fairies to get where you need to go, but not enough that you're going through all of your bottles and trying to release them when you're ready to leave. Thank you, Beer, for updating all of the commands. Much appreciated. That really is the thing. Setting up the restream is all front-end work, but you need to be able to pay attention to all that front-end work, as you'll be able to see anybody who rewatches this later. If Aerinon and someone come back and try and watch this after the fact, it's like, why was Mind DM not talking about the siege for the first 10 minutes? Well, there are reasons. Imagine reasons.
The first reason is, you know, the COCOM went out to lunch and was a little longer than expected. Sorry about that.
No, that happens. Eating is important.
I'm really enjoying this giant spike just chilling.
Just right there on the middle of the bridge and pod.
Look,
Yep, and here we go. We've got another one.
That's a nice place for, like, you know, in the parlance of this tournament, why is that there?
And Aerinon's just going to go ahead and body right on through it because, well, that's what you do when you don't have better options. Somehow it's ludicrous, and Aerinon does not have a cape yet, so can't just say, well, I'm going to cape through these things. Oh, there's the cape. Okay, fair enough. That's easy.
Asking you shall receive. Oh, Moon Pearl on Pendant, Landmo, and Pod. Wow. That's a fun place for that.
Yeah, that's not bad in the grand scheme of things. This is the all dungeons flavor of the tournament, so pendant or not doesn't really matter here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget that about this mode.
Yeah, it can be tough to keep all of the little bells and whistles of some of these modes in the
Yeah,
mind at the same
well,
time, but
also,
that's invertacrismizer's thing, one of them anyway.
I also hate AGA 1, like, a lot, so I try and block out modes where I would be required to do it.
And this is the one where we've made AGA 1 guaranteed 0 blue balls, since, well, if you're going to be forced to do it anyway, and it's a boring fight anyway, why not just at least make it somewhat bearable? Minimally bearable?
Yeah, and that, I'm sure everyone appreciates that. And Structural Mike in the chat pointing out that Aerinon made the door rando branch of the randomizer, so extensive game knowledge on their side. That's a good place for a Lionel, right in front of Eastern Palace.
That seems somehow appropriate, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Why isn't there always a Lionel
I
there?
I, I really I think we should maybe petition the devs.
Sometimes you just have to stop and wonder, because there really are only the 3 Lionels, normally. You just aside from that one little area of Death Mountain, the last remaining Lionel habitat in all of Hyrule, there aren't any, and you start to worry.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I think, yeah, I think they need to have like a Lionel sanctuary. It seems like they're endangered, possibly. Hey, someone just found our first half magic so far of this seed. In whatever that chest is. I don't know all the chest names, so I have my own names for them. I call that one the hookshot chest in Eastern Palace, because if I have the hookshot, I can skip like 2 rooms.
Yeah, that checks out. I know the one you're talking about. I'm pretty sure that has either the map or the compass in it in vanilla, but I don't remember which one. I
Yeah,
don't play
see,
spoiler, so it's not something that
I
I bother to remember.
right, and like I have never finished the vanilla game. I started it several times as a kid, but never finished it. So I've only ever finished Rando, so I really don't know the vanilla names for some of this stuff. Oh, that's a good point, Mike. If you play, is this even randomized enough, you'll learn all the map and compass chests. That's true. Dark rooms in this game are just monka. Like, I don't know how people do them, especially in Enemizer.
Probably the same way you do them normally, you just make them up as you go along.
I mean,
Oh my, pin gators in the dark, thank you, Fire Rod.
wow.
That could have become questionable in a hurry. It's still becoming a little questionable for Aerinon, but yeah, could have been worse.
Finally, Aeronon's just like, you know what? I have some magic. I have this fire rod. Burn, baby, burn.
It's not as though the magic was going to get used anywhere else unless this is Cold Stare or, you know, Try an X or something, but it's just Landmos.
Yeah, and silvers make
And
that
silvers for
pretty
Landmos.
easy.
Pretty free.
So now both runners have the first dungeon on the board. Both runners have mirror shield, sub 25 minutes. You love to see it. Both runners have the first moon pearl. Let's see where Aerinon heads next. And runners start with compasses in this mode, right?
Correct, to make room for all of the everything that needed to be made room for, and since we have boss shuffle anyway, the compasses were removed from the pool and just placed in inventory from the start.
Okay, so that's nice, so that way at least they can know as soon as they get into a dungeon if they can beat it. Like it's nice to not have to get all the way to the boss or find the compass to discover that, oh hey, this is Trinex and I don't have an ice rod.
Boss shuffle the way the devs intended. I kinda miss it and I kinda don't. Oh, speaking of wanting to miss things and not, someone has been cornered by Puffs.
He definitely, yeah, just got bodied there. And is like, nope, maybe when I have a better weapon than fighter sword and hammer. Maybe then I will attempt this.
Well, I don't think someone even has the sword yet. I think Erinon's the only one who has that.
Oh, right. Was it Aerinon that found the sword? Yeah, you're right. Okay, so yeah, that's just hammer cold stare. That's gross. Oh, here's an important question. Will Agina be useless?
It's ludicrous, almost assuredly, but maybe not. It kind of depends
Okay.
on where the other swords are. I bet you someone wishes that that sword was already in inventory.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure even Master Sword Cold Stare is not great fun, but it's definitely more fun than no sword hammer Cold Stare.
And now Aerinon can go right back to Bombo's tablet, and I missed what was on here, but clearly important enough that Erinon's going to go back for the second bite at the apple.
Okay, yeah, Red Cane, that's a good item.
There's probably another one of those somewhere, but you're already here, so why not just make sure that you have it in case the other three are in Ganon's tower or something. Alright, spicy glove location there. That's not too shabby.
No, that's kind of fun. I like it when there's important things on Desert Ledge.
It's always been strange to me how Mini Moldorm Cave tends to be really free in Inimizer. It's usually just the shadows. In that case, it was the little unbound wiggly dudes, and there's almost never anything dangerous in that cave. It's really strange.
Yeah, that is true. It is definitely, from the Enimizers I have seen, it's almost always more dangerous in vanilla. That is a very good point. Oh, look at that! Gloves in desert and on Desert Ledge.
So now it doesn't even matter. Aerinon has seen the glove on the ledge and now doesn't have to go get it.
Alright, first ether in the dam drain for someone. And also headed to Bombo's tablet over here.
Not going to be able to get this Samaria since the first sword for someone is going to be, well, we say that, but Someone appears to have other designs at the moment, going to continue bypassing swords.
Maybe someone is like, you know, swords make this game pretty easy. Maybe I'll just put them off until the last minute. I think that was, yeah, first lamp on Desert Right for Aerinon. So that would have been helpful, you know, maybe 10 minutes ago in Dark Pod, but both runners got through it fine-ish.
Yeah, who needs
That
lamp for
fire
dark
rod.
pod and anonymizer? That never helped anybody.
That is a good point. It's really just unnecessary. Just fluff.
When you get to runners of these caliber, it's all about the ability to show off, right? That's why someone still has no swords, Aerinon and someone both decided to eschew that lamp until after doing Dark Pod, because, you know, why not? Come out here on a Saturday afternoon, put on the show for everybody.
I did not see Aaron. It seems like even though these runners have the compasses and they could do compass checks, they don't really care. It seems like. I did not see. Well, I don't remember seeing Aerinon do a compass check. So
I don't know that I saw one either, so you may well just be right. And really, it's just Argus and Trinex that are problems at this point. Everything else is already easily defeatable. Mike in chat wondering if maybe they just happen to have missed the memo about the starting inventory with the compasses.
yeah, that is true. Or even if they, you know, knew it at one point, things are different when you're in the middle of a race.
And it's not as though we did 5 weeks of qualifier of invertacrismizer. This got played once over the 5 weeks of qual, so unless you decided to play some more of it on your own time, and I know that several people in the tournament did decide to play some of these modes quite a bit more than just the qualifiers on their own time as they were getting ready for group stage. You know, maybe you don't necessarily remember all the little ins and outs of some of these things. Yeah, maybe not PH, but you should have.
Hello, Vitreous. Goodbye, Vitreous, because Vitreous with silvers is pretty much no sweat. Someone getting their first sword. Is probably happy to see that, maybe.
Wait, more swords? That's even allowed?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan DM, I know usually what you end with just Master Sword. That's like your curse, right?
Pretty much. That seems to be my personal RNG these days. Back in main tournament, I thought it was just going to be my tournament meme, and it's kind of stuck with me.
So that's going to be tempered for Aerinon. And someone could be on Master right now, but never checked Agina.
Just deciding not to go do all of the slow one-off checks, I can understand. Now, in this case, it has cost someone the ability to get that Cane of Samaria, so maybe a little less helpful of a skip than in other situations, but now heading for the village and probably going to find 57 swords here.
Red Mail, Quake. A couple 20s, which I have to assume are shields at this point.
One would think. I don't know that there's a whole lot else out there that could be 25'd already.
I was about to get excited at the 30 4-minute-ish cack skip, but then I remembered this is inverted, so that's not really a cack skip. Hey, first flute, first mirror.
And another cape, imagine that. It's a nice safety to have in Invertacrismizer. So much for the Lionel Reservation in front of Eastern Palace. Aerinon is just chopping his way through the countryside here.
Yep, Aerinon not believing in Lionel preservation, which, you know, that's fine, I suppose. They are pretty scary. Oh good, someone did remember to go back and activate that flute. I was worried he was gonna head out into the dark world portal or something without turning that guy on. Okay, Aerinon did just do a quick map compass check in Eastern, and I totally missed what the boss was, so it's something.
This is where the cold stare was that someone died
That's
to
right.
a little earlier on.
That's right.
Yeah, I missed what it was on the map check because I'm terrible at catching those, but I do know what the boss is here because I've seen the other runner go there already.
Someone taking advantage of that mirror pickup, headed straight to the back of Skullwoods.
Interesting. Mimics are apparently immune to the fire rod, so that has to be a red one, I guess? Technically? It's tough to tell because it's rather orange.
Oh no, it's Argus. It's Argus in Skullwoods.
All that time spent and only to find out that yes, you do need a hookshot.
I don't know that I've ever... Well, at least I don't remember seeing an Argus in Skullwoods before. That, I feel like, could get dicey, depending on how good you are with
Yes,
that moving floor.
that is not always the most fun in the world, and since in the boss shuffle the floor locks in its original orientation, some of those orientations are a lot worse than others for dealing with that boss. And here's what I was talking about much earlier with this anti-fairy that just knows exactly how to get all up in your business in that room that someone just got through.
Yeah, that anti-fairy was like, oh, you think you're gonna try and block me with a statue? I think not. Wow. Aerinon should have a much easier time with this cold stare with tempered sword, half magic, fire rod.
Well, you say that, but,
Maybe.
Monka.
Even on red mail, 6 hearts is just not a lot.
No, those cold stare puffs are going to get the job done on you pretty much no matter your mail upgrade. But hey, 4th sword, free sword, butter sword 39 minutes, terrible seed confirmed. Alright, now that was also an orange mimic and it died to a pot, so maybe they're just immune to fire rod entirely? That's possible, right?
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever tried to fire rod like the green ones, so Yeah, they might just be fire-resistant mimics.
That's reasonable. Inimizer is not really a mode that I play, so it's not something that I would ever have thought to try. I don't think Aerinon really wanted to fall in that particular hole, but, being here, it does do the map check, does see the Argus.
Meanwhile, someone is completing the long and arduous task of old man rescue and inverted.
It hurts. The pain is real.
Someone getting second Bombos out of the deal, though. And
Yeah, free bottle's not bad.
Yeah. Aerinon did a... Oh good, a mushroom.
Oh good, a mushroom.
Aerinon did a quick... dipped into Thieves Town, did a quick map check, and I didn't see what boss it was, but noped out right away, so... Possibly another Argus or a Trinex, maybe? Okay, now Aerinon's going to do the old man rescue. Wow, it's a good thing we have a Hyrulean hero. Look at all those crystal rollers trying to trip up Gary in Death Mountain. Bugnet number 2 for someone. I think that's the third bugnet we've seen in total.
That seems right, and, you know, if it was swordless, then... Oh, so someone's never going to have to worry about that other Samaria, and oh look, another sword. I didn't do anything to the crop, Mike. What are you saying? There's nothing wrong with the crop here. No jank at all.
How many Triforces have we seen? I don't recall any Triforce
I don't think
pieces
we've
yet.
seen any yet. Oh good, another mushroom.
The more the merrier. Pretty sure that's what they say about mushrooms. Okay, so Aerinon did not do the CAC checks that someone did, so hasn't found a mirror quite yet. Lamp on Laser Bridge, that's a good place for that.
Yeah, that's a choice you can make. There's probably another mirror up here somewhere, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
And Vix Rider raiding in with a party of 3. Welcome in, everybody.
Hello, Vix and Raiders. Someone taking quick care of that Moldorm in the Trinex spot, getting another hammer.
You know, Trinex Dorm would be pretty terrifying when you stop and think about it. Just think if that Phase 2 snake acted like Moldorm instead.
No, no thank you.
No, worse. What if once you tried to quote-unquote kill the elemental heads, what happened was they popped off and started acting like Moldorms?
Oh, that would be so bad. That would be so bad. Alright, Paradox Cave. Surely there will be something useful in here. Yeah, Tempered Sword, that's pretty good.
Someone probably happy about that. Quake for entry to the front of Turtle Rock, which is not gonna do a whole lot for Aerinon yet. I'm pretty sure that that Quake medallion that someone has is also from the village.
Yes. Still no ice rod, still no hook shot.
And it's possible that we get out from around needing the ice rod if we just have an ice Trinex in the basement of GT. But we already know that the hookshot has to appear eventually.
Yep, that is true. We've seen Skullwood's Argus, so we definitely need it. Oh, look, it's the best dungeon. Honestly, probably either the hookshot or the ice rod are just in Hera Basement. Oh, right, no hookshot, no Herapot. That's sad. Gonna have to do the climb the old-fashioned way.
Imagine doing the climb the old-fashioned way.
Now, are we gonna have anything useful in these chests, or just, you know, a small key? A small key and a map.
Is this even randomized?
Why is that even randomized?
Video game, please.
This game is so funny.
It has jokes. See, we tried to build some jokes into some of these modes, and even the modes that we tried to build the jokes into, the game says, no, 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 you don't understand. This is how it's done.
The game's like, I see your joke, and raise you more jokes.
Exactly.
Mind DM, how do you feel about Helmasaur up here in Tower of Hera? It seems like
It's
not
fine as long as it's not terrible.
I was gonna say, that seems like a less fun place than Pod to fight Helmasaur.
The real problem is when Helmasaur gets itself over the pit, it gets pit state and you can't hurt the mask, so you have to wait.
No.
That's the bad part.
Okay, so there is an item in the basement.
I can't imagine someone goes to the basement
Yeah,
here.
there's
That
no
would
way.
be
There's no
that
way.
would be a truly spicy play. If that is the first accessible hookshot, that would be amazing and terrible. And I'm here for it, but I don't think we're going to see it unless it winds up being a true last location from both runners. Oh, and Aerinon trying to set up the bomb jump there is going to fall 2 floors instead.
Oh no, that's sad. I have done that more than once. Right, someone immediately trading the Hera Tower climb for the Castle Tower climb.
This is the convenient way to do it in this. It's not like the normal layout being inverted. This is the time to go ahead and get your Castle Tower play, whereas in a more normal setting you would try to save this for after Ganon's Tower. Then you do Ganon's Tower, Aga Tower, get your full refill, and go have fun with the pig. But it doesn't work out that way in this, so you may as well do it now. The mirror makes it easy. Not going to be nearly so easy for Aerinon, though. I'm going to be curious to see what the outcome there is. Now, when I run into Helmsor King up here, I like to use the bombs instead, just because it's a little more convenient to me. And now Erinon's going to have exactly that same idea.
Yeah, I think it is easier to use bombs on Helma up here than it is in pod base, like pod basement.
I think it's less that it's easier to use bombs here and more that it's less convenient to use the hammer here.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I have never played Enemizer or Boss Shuffle, so I pretty much, I'm a beginner at this randomizer, so I watch a lot of it, but I don't play it that much. I pretty much stick to casual boots, because it starts me with things that I like.
Yeah, that's fair. But I like Boss Shuffle. I'm not really an Enemizer person as such, so I've played around with the boss portion of this. Maybe the best mode ever created was Season 7 Potpourri on Ladder, where it was just a bunch of community votes for, hey, what goal do you want, what starting items do you want, etc, etc, etc. And it turned into maybe one of the best non-evergreen modes Ladder ever had.
Oh, that actually sounds like fun.
So it was Boss Shuffle, but not Enemizer, with a starting hook shot, ice rod, and activated flute. With small and big key shuffle, but not map and compass, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while. Season 7 was a long time ago.
Alright, someone did find an ice rod in Uncle Chest.
Potentially convenient. It may not be necessary. That's the one thing we don't know yet.
Yeah, that's true. At least he has it if he needs it. Still no hook shot.
It's probably just on a Trinex somewhere.
Okay, is this gonna be a Kakariko check for Aerinon?
Speaking of Trinexes, here we go.
Okay, so Ice Rod was a good pickup there for someone.
Now, show me hookshot. Commentator's blessing on this wonderful, terrible seed. Nope, that's not even close. Wrong form factor, wrong function, wrong color, everything about that was wrong. It was
just completely wrong.
It looked pretty close to the crystal, though. Does it count for 2? Is there a maiden trapped in that one?
4 hook shots in the front of Swamp Palace. Beer, please. Okay, Aerinon picking up their first flute and first mirror in the basement of Blind's hut. Getting all the money to make TJ Maelstrom happy. Getting second cape. Someone's gonna head back over to Eastern Palace now with red mail and actual swords instead of just a hammer, and probably have a little bit better of a time with this cold stare. We saw someone in here before. Was not able to complete cold stare, took a death, and did not have any weapons other than a hammer at that point, so noped out. Aerinon not forgetting to activate that flute before leaving the village. That's excellent. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, someone did all of these Eastern checks, so all he has to do is come back in here, get back to Cold Stare, and beat Cold Stare. Just a green 20 in the chicken house, so I'm not sure if that was a sword or a shield. Alright, Aerinon finding an ice rod in back of the tavern in Kakariko. So now he can go back into Thieves Town and beat that Trinex. Someone has made it back to Cold Stare. Let's see if this goes better for him. Yeah, that was definitely a much easier fight. Able to pin Cold Stare in the corner with that butter sword. And Aerinon is headed directly back into Thieves Town with that ice rod to kill Trinex. And Aerinon, I'm thinking maybe they both knew. I did not see someone do a map check while in Thieves before, map compass check, to see what was the boss, but we did see Aerinon do a check very quickly. So he knew that this was a Trinex and that he was going to need that ice rod.
Yeah, as I stop and think about it, someone may have run into that boss room really early on while I was trying to do all of the technical setup.
I think, because it seemed like he knew. If he didn't run in there, he had to have known, because he went right back there as soon as he found the fire rod, so it seemed like he knew exactly what he was dealing with. Died.
So let's at least try and take stock of this thing at the hour mark. Someone has all the Light World dungeons done, has 3 of the 7 Dark World dungeons done, and Aerinon has the 3 Light World dungeons and Pod. Going to have these down here in just a second, of course.
Icehead being a little sneaky.
A little shifty. It does that from time to time, doesn't it?
Oh no, another death for Aerinon. Trinex is just a jerk sometimes, the way he's just like, well, I'm just gonna bop you, and you will die.
Trinex being a jerk is pretty common.
Also, this enemy set in here, like, mini Helmas, these the hopping guards, the, like, freaking Dead Rocks in Thieves Town, like, what is that? That's just rude.
Dead Rocks in Thieves Town may in fact be the worst. That was becoming a very near thing with Aerinon's magic meter, but looks like going to get cleanly into Phase 2 this time.
Just the map of Ice Palace and Ice Palace Big Chest for someone. Okay, good. Aerinon defeating Trinex, 3rd time's the charm. Picking up $5 for the trouble.
You'd think that dealing with something that requires that much specialized knowledge and equipment would be worth a little bit more than $5.
I know,
but,
right?
The Hylian economy makes no sense anyway, so we won't worry about it too much.
Oh, look, another Helmosaur here in Ice Palace. I guess at least the floor's not ice. That's the nicest thing I have to say about this.
That probably is for the best. I don't know that I would ever want to see this floor iced over, even though it would make a lot of sense thematically.
Yeah, that would be so gross. It would be so gross. Like, it's bad enough that they do it to you once in GT. This is a fun entrance to Mire.
Not the worst, but that skull that you think, oh, I'll just dash down this whole thing like I always do. You're gonna bonk if you find that. Someone going to have a quick look-see at the Mire Shack first still knows that that hookshot is outstanding. Has to live somewhere. Oh, and another Cane of Samaria right under the doormat. Just come to the Desert Mire area. The game's going to make really sure you can do this dungeon.
That's right. Someone also now in Mire. Okay, there's the big key. You know, even with the Hinoxes in this room, at least there's not a BMO shooting lasers at you every time you try and move.
Mm-hmm. The traps in this game are pretty much always more dangerous than the enemies, and they make everything else around them more dangerous, too. Now, I saw that map check, and I still couldn't tell what that boss was.
Yeah, same. Same. I'm really bad at figuring out what the boss is from the map checks in Boss Shuffle.
And it would probably be one thing if I was seeing it at full size rather than in the OBS window, because the OBS window is really tiny. And my eyes are yet another thing about me that is clearly not 1991 spec anymore.
Yeah, I hear that. You know, my husband and I were just talking about this, like how it's just surreal sometimes getting older, because like in our heads we're both still in our mid-20s, early 20s, and then we try and, like, you know, do something silly like stay up too late or read fine print, and then it becomes apparent like we're not in fact in our early 20s anymore. It's just it's funny. So far, no Meyer hookshot, which is really like the last useful thing that we need.
It's probably just on the boss, whatever the boss is. And yes, that includes if the boss happens to be another Argus.
Either that or Beer has actually cursed the seed, and there are 4 hookshots in the front of Swamp Palace, which would be highly unlikely, but possible, and really gross. Okay, so that was Armos Knights and Meyer giving someone cape either 3 or 4.
And that appears from someone's tracker to have been all of the pendant dungeons, so we know that it's not all of the hookshots locked away in Ganon's tower. Which is probably convenient, right?
Blind pull ped someone, do it for the memes. I don't think he's gonna do it. That's okay. I wouldn't do it either in a race. Oh, that's a nice place for Bimos. Hanging out in the front of Hyrule Castle.
Security's really been upgraded in this castle.
That is true. That is taking this very seriously.
Ag is not lying down on the job this time.
Look at this. Bimos, Lionels, Hinoxes. Yeah, we have... This is like the Platinum security package.
Well, I think the Platinum security package would have had a couple of crystal rollers in there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, maybe it's just the gold security package, maybe.
Unfortunately, there are no enemies in this room because otherwise you could have the surprise roller that pops down through the wall there. Using a crab for a key guard, though, that's a bit questionable.
Aerinon also disposing of those Armos Knights very quickly. Silvers make it kind of a free fight. Mirror number 2 there in Dark Cross. Oh, that's right. Aerinon hasn't been into Ice Palace yet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick palace as long as you don't want to go to Ice Tea. Now, maybe the hookshot's in Ice Tea and all the other ones are in Ganon's Tower or in the back of Swamp behind this hookshot in Ice Tea. So, yeah, who knows? Because I'm pretty sure that someone functionally go-moded this dungeon, just did the on-the-way checks and checked right on out.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing iced tea from someone in here. So I think you're probably right.
Also, how are we an hour and 10 minutes into this and nobody has quarter magic yet?
Yeah, that is, like, kind of one of the best parts about ludicrous modes is you can get the quarter magic. Well, let's see if Swamp Palace has jokes for us today. Well, okay, yeah, there's one right there.
Ah, classic minimization, and Aerinon making sure of the bottled fairy count here, just in case. Again, those 6 hearts only go so far sometimes.
$20 for someone. And headed into left side swamp. Flippers and Ice Palace just makes me giggle.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's not always the most amusing thing, given that you can get in here in a lot of entrance modes where you never had to swim to get here, so...
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, I should qualify that with non-entrance modes.
Burn one Freezor, make the map check, burn the other Freezor. Alright, Aerinon, where are we going?
Iced tea.
Yep, no iced tea. Alright. A French vanilla big key there in Swamp Palace for someone. Could we have a true vanilla hookshot? It would be more of a false vanilla hookshot since the big key wasn't in the proper location, but yeah, close enough, right?
Right, yeah, definitely close enough. There's our quarter magic.
Ah, we've been waiting for that for a while now.
And Ice Palace Humsaur not giving Aerinon any trouble whatsoever.
And the answer is no, just another Bombos medallion in the big chest of Swamp Palace. The hookshot remains elusive.
Alright, so where will someone go now? Okay.
Looks like a shovel check.
That's just third Moon Pearl, we don't care about that.
Moon Pearl on shovel more amusing when there's only one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see Aerinon clean up some of these dungeons that someone has already finished. Was able to open the front of Turtle Rock with that Quake medallion from Kakariko Village Well. Oh no, Smith Chain. You.
You know you're running low on options when Smith Chain is something that occurs to you at all. Oh good, another mushroom.
I think this is probably TJ's favorite avian art mode since he gets to say "oh good" and mushroom 4 different times.
Right? Aerinon, remembering not to have to take the loop of shame here, does not have the hook shot and has to do this the quote-unquote developer intended way. Yeah, you're right, Maddie. It is a shame that there's still only one magic bat to check. Although if there was more than one, Ed might have decided to bypass the tournament,
I think
so...
Ed's head
eh.
would probably explode if there were the possibility that he would have to check more than one bat. Hey, a Triforce piece! Aerinon found a Triforce piece on Turtle Rock right side.
At long last.
Okay, so someone headed back into Kakariko to clean up the rest of these checks from earlier.
Just went to do the dense ones earlier, and now that it's come to it, going to go back and do the rest. I understand the desire to only want to go in and do the quick checks where you can pick up a lot of items, since there's enough dense locations in the ludicrous setting where you figure normally you're just going to get the things you're looking for without going and doing terrible one-off locations like this. Chicken Hut takes time. There are 2 screen transitions. You have to wait for the bomb. Who wants to go here?
Yeah, and I mean, especially in Enemizer when you can't even yeet the chicken through the wall.
I wonder, could someone have ice rotted one of those popos and try and thrown it through the wall instead?
Experiments.
Live experimentation in the AVIANART tournament? That would never happen. Oh my.
Oh no. Really? Really? Sphere 1 hookshot?
And everyone has to feel terrible about that. Well, it's inverted, so that's not Sphere 1, but it's
Okay,
Sphere
oh,
1
that's
Light
right,
World.
that's right. Okay.
So behind however many spheres the Light World
Oh
access was,
no,
which
that is a
in
feels bad though because someone mirrored in and out of the Lost Woods a few times and just didn't ever check the mushroom spot.
This is true. But here we are, that is the thing that someone needed to be in go mode.
Yep, and we'll be able to take down the Skullwoods Argus.
And then go back to the Swamp Palace, whatever may be in Swamp Palace.
Oh no, okay, Aerinon had a fairy. Turned sideways on Laser Bridge and took a laser to the side. Even with the mirror shield, Laser Bridge is dangerous.
Well, if you want to go the slow way and hold your sword out to make sure that the mirror shield blocks those lasers, that's one thing, but that's slow. Everybody wants to go fast here, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And I'm sure the butter sword is helping someone, but definitely not having as difficult a time with the Argus on that moving floor as I expected.
It's more of a problem when the floor is moving up, or sometimes down as well, because you can either get dragged into the boss or the spikes. It's also a problem on lower sword levels where you, particularly if you have fighter sword and you need to spin, because the floor can then drag you into the puffs as you're trying to hook and spin them. Oh, that pot. Aerinon was trying to throw a pot at that first crystal switch, and one of the shadows popped up right as he threw it right on top of the switch and was completely bodyguarding the switch.
Dang gatekeeping shadows.
I'll go ahead and switch it back to somebody's audio after somebody else finishes up the Moldorm here.
I think one of my favorite part about Boss Shuffle is the multiple Moldorm eyes. With the different numbers, the randomized numbers of Moldorm eyes. It's always fun.
And the fact that they can never be symmetrical until there are 8.
Right, yeah, that too.
But someone is now heading for the final crystal. Just has to go over and swipe that key now that it's available. Of course, with that hookshot just sitting in the mushroom spot. Oh good, another mushroom, quote unquote. And that rope was having an absolute blast in the shallow water there. Did you see that? At first I thought it was a dead rock that was trapped there the way it was moving.
Yeah, that was definitely... That poor rope was having a panic attack.
I think that was probably its help I can't swim moment. Aerinon having one go at that bomb jump and says, you know what, one go was enough, I'll just go around.
We've got Blind in Swamp Palace today.
Someone equipping safety cane just in case. I can appreciate it, even though it turned out not to be at all needed.
Aerinon gonna knock out Castle Tower here, while someone is entering GT. I always like to see the different ways that routers or runners route in GT. Someone starting off with the Hope Lefter strat, and hey, alrighty.
Oh, look at that, a
Look
free
at
big
that
key.
on
Imagine.
the torch. Easy peasy. Here goes someone starting the climb.
Almost as though the game was apologizing for making that hookshot so free. Aerinon's taking care of a different tower here. Still short that hookshot, unfortunately. And I do wonder at this point where the other ones may be hidden. I would love to see a validation chest hook
Someone
shot.
continuing to body through the spikes that are in some of the most random places. That one just completely gatekeeping the ladder.
Of course it is, as they do so often.
And Aerinon's getting ready to take down Aga 1.
It's about as free as a fight gets, it's just time consuming.
Yeah, I do appreciate that there's no blue balls in this mode. I really, like you said earlier, if you were going to be forced into doing Aga 1, at least we don't have to sit and wonder, okay, how many cycles is this actually going to take?
And I don't know, if I had been someone a couple of rooms back in this gauntlet and I'd seen that 10 arrow drop, I'm pretty sure I would have picked it up. Given how many arrows he's been using here, there goes another one.
Oh yeah, I definitely would have picked it up because silvers are super helpful on the climb. And just with the enemizer, it's like you don't really know where you're going to run into mimics. See our second Trinex here in Lammo 2 room. And now Aerinon's going to finish up the front of Hyrule Castle.
Still on the hunt for that elusive hookshot. Where are the other three, though?
Yeah,
They've almost
seriously.
gotta just be in GT at this point, don't they? Because we saw left side swamp from someone.
Yeah, at least one or two of them has to. I mean, because someone did Hope Room and then found the GT big key on the torch, so we didn't really see any of the GT basement. And I mean, I'm sure both runners have like a few gross one-off checks still, but it seems just based on density, at least one, probably two of the hook shots have to be in GT.
And maybe even all three of them, but, Oh, someone, you were right next to that chest. You could have opened that and found a hookshot. That would have been funny. Ah, sword beams. The only thing aside from spikes that makes the moth fight worse.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, well, no hookshot and validation chest.
Ah, sadness. Just a French vanilla amount of money.
I was hoping, I'm not gonna lie, that would have been a good place for a hookshot. Here we go, someone starting the Aga 2 fight. I will say, after having done this fight a couple times now, y'all make it look a lot easier than it actually is. I was getting pummeled by all these sets of energy balls.
The patterns have a lot to do with that too. Those were some fairly generous patterns that someone got.
I mean, I'm also bad at video games. I just play them because they're fun. Oh, this is my favorite part of inverted modes, when the glitched bat drops in to Hyrule Castle, which is actually Ganon's tower.
Because with the golden power, you can do anything, even things that make no sense.
Sure, what someone has in bottles here. You know, we know we've got Cape, we've got Quarter Magic, we've got Butter Sword, Cane of Burna, so decent amount of item safeties. I'm just not sure. Oh no, Aerinon doing Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid Fairy could have a hook shot. That's something
true.
that I don't
is
think
true.
we had really considered.
No, honestly, I kind of forgot about Pyramid Fairy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, who goes there? It never has anything.
Someone already in phase 4 should be quick with those silvers. Oh, almost had the triple. Alright, all someone has to do is not fall. Don't fall, someone.
Yep, it's an easy game. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat for someone who has taken this race home with a race time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 35 seconds. And Pyramid Fairy, as usual, did not have the answer today.
No, it did have 4th Ice Rod, though.
That's not nothing. I could use a good shoulder massager.
We know it's not here in Mini Moldorm Cave. Aerinon doesn't know that, but they'll get him the Cane of Burna at least.
Ah, the trip all the way over to Ice Rod Cave. This is a location you hope never to check in invertacrismizer.
Yeah, right, because that flute you use in the Dark World, correct? Like you
Correct.
activate it in the Light World, but so you can't even flute over here. Yeah, that's sad. This is a lonely, isolated check for just for powder.
Ah, going to set a water walk here too.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize you could do that still once you had flippers. There's a lot about the glitches in this game that I just don't know.
You can. What happens in this case is once you touch shallow water, you'll go back to a regular state and you'll lose your water walk. You'll see Aerinon kind of looped around the bottom of that rather than just going through the shallow water.
Okay.
And so once you have the flippers, it makes a lot more sense. Oh, hey, look, another ice rod. To go ahead and make your water walk to Hobo rather than trying to go into Zora's domain, because as soon as you touch the shallow water around the whirlpool on the way to Zora's domain, you'll lose your water walk.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like why I see people tend to do it this way more than the other. That, yeah. Video game, I love you. That was 2 canes of Burna next to each other in Waterfall Fairy. Excellent. You love to see it.
Only in Ludicrous, right?
And there were gloves on head.
Because, of course, there were, and we are now joined by Someone325, the victor in today's invertacrismizer match. How are you doing?
And
good
there
game
were
to you.
gloves
Yeah,
on head.
Because, of
The
course,
speed
there were,
was
and
a
we are
thing.
now joined
I
by
think it's the hardest
Someone325, the victor
beat
in
I've
today's
had.
invertacrismizer match. How are you doing? And good game to you.
Yeah,
GG's.
The intimization was cruel in the early
speed
game
was
particularly,
okay.
and
I
then
think
that
it's the
hookshot
hardest
location, it
beat
evaded
I've
you for
had.
quite some time. Aerinon still looking unsuccessfully. The
intimization
Royale and I
was
think that
cruel in the
probably
early game
at least 2,
particularly,
maybe
and
all
then that
3 other
hookshot
hookshots are just in
location,
Ganon's
it
tower at
evaded
this
you for
point.
quite some time.
Yeah,
that
Aerinon
sounds about
still
right.
looking unsuccessfully.
Yeah, 'cause
Royale and
we've
I think that
seen-
probably at least
We've seen
2,
a
maybe
lot
all
of.
3
I mean,
other
we've seen
hookshots
pretty
are
much
just in
all the
Ganon's tower
dense
at this
checks.
point.
We've seen all the
Yeah, that
dungeons.
sounds about right.
I mean, I guess maybe Ice Tea. Someone I don't remember.
Yeah, because we've
Yeah,
seen.
Yeah, okay, and so neither
We've
did
seen a
Aerinon,
lot
so maybe,
of. I mean, we've seen
but-
pretty much all the dense checks.
We've seen all the dungeons. I mean, I guess maybe Ice Tea. Someone I don't remember if
Yeah, I
you
didn't
did.
get
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, okay, and so neither did Aerinon.
I mean,
so maybe,
you know,
Might have
but
been key, I
Beer
wasn't
was
paying
hoping that
attention.
there were just 4 hook shots in the front of Swamp Palace because he's a
Yeah.
sadist. But you
That
know,
would have been good. Why is that even
yeah,
there?
I mean, you know, Beer was hoping that there were just 4 hook shots in the front of Swamp Palace because
Yeah.
he's a sadist.
It seems like this
but,
happens
you know,
That would have been good. Why is
kind
that
of
even
like
there?
half the time I watch a ludicrous mode, whether it's ludicrous speed or invertacrismizer.
I don't know, maybe yeah.
It seems like half the seeds are jet and everything's just
kind of
you know,
like
half the
out
time I
there
watch
or
in one of the dungeons
mode,
and half the
whether
seeds
it's
you end up
ludicrous
on
speed or
a single item
invertacrismizer,
hunt, and it's always
it
in
seems
some
like
kind
half
of
the
gross
seeds
spot,
are jet
like some gross
and
one-off
everything's
check.
just
You know,
Yeah.
out there or in one of the
Yeah,
dungeons.
usually it's
And
fine,
half the
but,
seeds
yeah,
you
sometimes
end
you
up
get some of
on a
these.
single item
Could've
hunt,
been,
and
like,
it's always
deep
in
in
some
Thieves Channel, but I wasn't
kind of
gonna
gross
check
spot, like some
for all
gross
of
one-off
these.
check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
usually
Yep,
it's fine,
that's
but, yeah,
we did
sometimes you get
see the
some of
front
these.
4 of Thieves and
Could've
then
been, like, deep in
the
Thieves
go
Channel,
mode
but I wasn't
for the
gonna
rest
check
of Thieves.
for all
So
of enemies.
yeah, I guess there are a few places.
Oh
it
yeah,
could
that's
be
a good
other
point.
than
Yep,
GT. That's we did see the front 4 of Thieves and then the go mode for the rest of Thieves. So any thoughts specifically? Yeah,
on
I
the
guess there are a
seed?
few places it could be other than GT.
So, I found Moonpearl in, like, the pod boss, and I wasn't supposed to get
So
that. I
any
think you were
thoughts
supposed to
specifically
get the
on the
flute from
seed?
Skull Woods and then go somewhere else. Where did Arian found the Moonpearl? I found Moonpearl in, like,
The same, the first one in
boss,
pod like you
and I
did.
wasn't supposed to get
Okay.
that. I think you were
And
supposed
then
to
you both found, I
flute
think,
from
the
Skull
Tower of
Woods
Hera,
and go
Vanilla
somewhere else.
Moonpearl as your second
Where did
Moonpearls.
Arian found the Moonpearl? Yeah, and then I found one more.
The
with
same, the
shovel.
first one in pod like you did.
Okay.
And then you both found, I think, the Tower of Hera, Vanilla Moonpearl.
Yeah,
as your
I have
second
a hard
Moonpearls.
time keeping track of what
Yeah, and then
is
I found one
actually
more
logical
with
in
the
this
shovel.
mode, just because you have so many items so fast that it's really hard for me to even know like
Yeah, I have
what
a
is
hard
actually in
time
logic.
keeping track of what
Yeah,
is
sometimes better just
actually
get the
logical in this mode, just
non-logic
because
items.
you have so many items so fast that it's really hard for me to even know like what is actually in logic.
Yeah, and sometimes better just get the non-logic items.
Triforce, Peace, and Bonk Rocks. Thanks, game.
I was on my way to get that. Looks like he wants to race now.
Yeah, I feel like I would be caught somewhere between like relief, I finally found my go mode item, and man, I'm a dingus, I should have checked this way sooner. with a hook shot just right here out in the open on Mushroom Spot.
Yeah.
Well, now Aerinon does have it, going to be able to mirror over and pick off the Argus in Skullwoods.
I really enjoy the like Gates of Hell red mirror portal in inverted. I think that's a really nice touch.
Oh yeah.
That how the mirror portal, the portals are all like Gates of Hell red. I really like that. I think
It
that's
kind
a
of looks
nice.
like there's a bat in there or something.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. I like it. Well, and at least we know, you know, Aerinon can take down Argus here really quick, and we'll be able to deal with blind fairly quickly in the back of Swamp. Won't have to do left side or any of that fun stuff. And GT key is right there on the big torch, so not digging around too much in the basement either. That must have been a relief for you, someone. At least you didn't have to also go on a ridiculous big key hunt somewhere in GT.
Yeah. Yeah, Fade was going long enough already.
After all this time, I guess I could fix the crop on Erinon's timer. Hilarious.
Nice.
It was pulling your timer all that time, and I didn't really notice until both timers were stopped at the same time.
Yeah, well, I guess nobody would notice.
Wow, the sync was really good, right?
Yeah.
Perfect, right down to the 100th of a second. Awesome. No work needed. Excellent.
Here says there's a super echo. Cody says there's a loop from someone's game audio.
Yeah, I'm
Here's
streaming
Pierce
all
says-
these guys' voices.
Pierce
So-
says blame Ed, so we will.
Well, now.
Yes,
Only
Schulzer,
the
this
highest
is-
quality restream.
Schulzer, this is a very inconspicuous and professional restream.
And it's fine, we've already swapped over to Erinon's audio, so all of that echo issue should be long in the past.
I think Beer just wants to make sure we're not blaming him. That's why he's always throwing other people under the bus, like Ed and AFG.
That checks out.
Alright, go Swamp Palace. I'm glad to see Aerinon finishing out the seed here. Once he found that hook shot.
Now, someone, can you remember way back to the early days of this game when we had all of those yellow spikes in Palace of Darkness? Very classic minimization.
No, I don't think I played that early Enemizer to remember that. That sounds like a fun time.
So we can just throw out questions while we're waiting for Aerinon to finish this thing up, which is going to be reasonably quick since we know that the GT big key is early. Is this your favorite mode in the tournament? Do you have another one? After all, we've got a lot of things that people seem to enjoy playing here.
I think this is my favorite mode. It's very different from like standard Link to the Past, so I like Animizer. And I like the fact that it's all dungeons, so you can just beat everything. And it's still pretty fast.
When Dunka first cooked the original ludicrous speed up for ladder, I always thought, wait, we kind of defeat the purpose of ludicrous speed when we force everybody to do all of the dungeons. This seems kind of the antithesis of speed, but I guess when you've got 4 of everything in the pool, it still keeps the time down a little bit.
Yeah, you can just focus on beating dungeons and usually you're fine. Obviously here it wasn't fine, but what can you do? And the early game is pretty interesting, with the mini moon pearls you can potentially find. But you're not like bottlenecked to one location, usually.
Yeah, I feel like this mode, like you've got to be good at knowing how to route efficiently because you can just have everything open so fast. I feel like I don't know, it seems like because it gives you so much stuff, it seems like it'd be a friendly, fun mode, but also, if you're kind of like a beginner and you don't really know like logic and routing, this could be maybe not so easy.
Yeah, well, you don't need to know logic because, but yeah, this can be pretty rough.
I mean, especially this particular mode with the Enemizer. It sure is fun to watch, though. I wasn't like the hugest fan of ludicrous speed like to watch on the ladder, but this mode I think is a lot more fun to watch. The inverted and the Enemizer aspects I think give it a little bit of interest.
No, Aerinon doesn't know you can save and quit and it puts you right at Ganon Tower.
Yeah, fancy inverted tricks, who knows those, right?
I mean, I figured it out because I save and quit and it put me there and I was like, oh, this is useful.
Maybe just wanted to be sure to do... Nope, no crystal beams. Sadness.
Someone, do you generally do the hope left strat in GT for your routing? Is that like your preferred method?
Yeah, hope right, and then if I find a key, I'll keep going right, and then go left if I don't find a key. Usually how I
Okay.
go. Sometimes if I find like 2 keys, I'll just open the door and go left.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I know nobody else does that, so kind of fun.
But now that you've said it, you have to watch out.
Oh no.
Main tourney 2023 featuring invertacrismizer when? Yeah, that's a really good question, Beer.
Well, hey, at least then we'll know that they're going to have a mode that people actually like, right?
That is true. Well, people have really been enjoying this mode, and it's been a lot of fun to see.
AVIANART tourney modes superior to main tourney 2022 modes. Not even really Keck W? I don't know. Of the modes from this tournament, I think the one most likely to become a main tournament mode next year would be Anti-Erosia. Just as a personal guess.
Yeah, I haven't really done too much of that mode. Since I missed out on that qualifier. Yeah, two of the modes are just standard with extra steps, and then one of them is pot hunt, which is a thing.
Aerinon's having a pretty good gauntlet here. I say, and then Gauntlet 5 decides to cause its own problems, as it often does.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I thought this was a helmet store for a second, but turns out it was Trinex. Oh no.
Fairy, at least, yeah. Aaronon's got
That
some
fireball shooter is
fairies.
the real MVP of Ganon's entire coterie of monsters.
Yeah, you know, I don't know whose stream I was watching. I think it might have been Scottish Brave the other day. Was talking about how you can take like any reasonably easy boss fight and just throw a fireball shooter in there to make it like 1,000 times more difficult. And I think she's really not wrong about that.
I'd call that accurate. You never think that Buttersword Trinex is really going to be a problem, but everybody just saw Aerinon needing that fairy there to keep the run going.
Yeah,
It was all thanks to that fireball shooter.
now you have the lava shell here.
I understood that reference. Hilariously enough, I first played that earlier this year. Mothula Arena now with more fireballs. No, please. Oh, whoa. That could have been spicy.
No, if there's gonna be more fireballs in Mothula Arena, then like something's got to give. Like those spikes need to go or something.
Well, all of those spikes go sooner or later. Looks like Aaronon's also not going to open most of these chests for us. We're never going to know where those other hook shots are.
There could be 3 hook shots in here.
Nope, it will remain one of this seed's great mysteries. Alright, Aerinon into the easiest room in the game here.
Yeah, that guy was a problem.
I feel like that's one of the rooms where in Invertacrismizer, as long as I have the cape and any reasonable amount of magic, I'm just going to cape for the dash through.
That's fair.
Ah, this looks like a pretty good final pattern. Yep, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it, Beer. Just have the spikes spit fireballs. So it's a complete Danmaku game all of a sudden.
Wombat, who hurt you?
I don't know. Maybe that's just a bit of encouragement. Somebody wants a Toho MSU. Could happen someday. Here we are, though, as we were discussing possible changes to the Mothula fight. Aerinon into Phase 3 and now Phase 4 Ganon.
Thankfully, the Ganon fights are always reasonable here.
It's almost impossible in Ludicrous to not have Butter Sword Silvers by the time you make it to this fight. You have to have a truly Jet Seed for that to not happen.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it did take forever for us to find a sword, but GG's to Aerinon.
Going to go ahead and cross the bridge and wrap this thing up at 1 hour 57 minutes flat. We did it! Yes, we did.
And GG's to Aerinon.
We'll wait just a moment and see if Aerinon wants to join us here in the booth as well, and probably at this point vent about this seed. If not, it may also be time to give a little consideration of where to go next. Oh, well, look at that. As I even speak, TJ Maelstrom versus Professor Renderer appears to be kicking off here in the very near future. TJ's lent his voice to a lot of these restreams already. That sounds like a pretty good place to go. Pretty good entertainment on a Saturday afternoon, if this was not enough for you.
Yeah, definitely. TJ, is a entrant in the AVIANART tournament, and we are joined by Aerinon in the booth. GG's, Aerinon.
Thank you. How are you guys doing? GG.
Doing pretty well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. That was a
and
pretty
we are
rough seed
joined
for
by
me.
Aerinon in the booth.
Not my
GG's,
best.
Aerinon.
GG's.
Well, don't worry,
Doing
at
pretty
least
well.
you
How
weren't
about you?
trying to crop on the fly for the first 10 minutes and having all sorts of interesting issues. Someone's tracker really did not want to come up, and my co-com had a
Well, don't worry.
had a mildly long lunch, and so I was trying to both commentate the run and figure out what had gone wrong with the crop, and game audio wasn't going. It was a complete mess. So don't worry. No matter how badly you think this may have gone for you, it went worse for me in the first 10 minutes.
So I was trying to both commentate the run and figure out what had gone wrong with the
very
crop,
inconspicuous and
game audio
professionally run
wasn't going.
tournament,
It
just
was
so
a
everyone
complete
knows.
mess. So
Mhm.
don't worry.
Exactly.
No matter how badly
And
you
see,
think this may have
I
gone
can
for
blame
you,
all
it
of this
went
on
worse for
Poolfloat
me in the
because
first 10 minutes.
yesterday he gave me the rundown on how this thing works, and
This is a
overnight,
very
yeah,
inconspicuous
one
and
sleep later, I'd
professionally
already
run
forgotten
tournament,
half of
just
it,
so everyone
and so I
knows.
thought, well, this is going to be easy.
Exactly. And
It
you see,
was
I
not
can blame
easy.
all of this on Poolfloat because
yesterday he gave me
Oh,
the
you have more
rundown
echo.
on how this thing works, and overnight, you have one sleep later. Oh, of course we do. That's fine. I'll just mute the audio. Muting the audio is easy.
Yeah, we can play music, like, I don't know what our theme song is for this tournament.
Well, what I really have to do in that case is to add a source of foobar, and that's going to be fun. Let's see here. Add application audio capture. Imagine doing it live, and now we'll turn that down a little bit first, just in case. Because as soon as I start playing this, then it'll get loud, probably.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
There we go, we've done it live. Now there's music. So, Aerinon, it was probably the thing that tripped both of you. It just took a little longer in your case, that hookshot location. Maybe
Oh,
not
yeah.
the greatest.
Not the greatest. Mushroom was not on my mind at all most of the seed. Did he find a different one, or is that the same one?
No, I found the same one.
Was that also your go mode, or was it a different
Yeah.
thing? Alright, well. At least you checked it a little earlier.
Yeah, I just finished checking Swamp Palace, and then I was walking to CAC and got it on the way.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I didn't want to dip Swamp because I was like, not likely to be in there. But it's starting to look that way.
Yeah, I figured if it was there, it was gonna be funny, so it's fine.
And you two should both have some more games left to play in this thing, right? I don't have the group bracket up right at the moment, but...
Oh, I've played one other yesterday, and then I've got 4 more to go, so we'll see how we do.
This is my first game, so I'll probably need to do more in the coming weeks.
Yep, still plenty of time to get them in, plenty of time to have fun. I think Mike was saying earlier that we've already had... I don't remember if it was played or scheduled, but 29% of all races either on the board or done already, so we've been clipping right along with this thing.
That's pretty good, actually, to start off on the first week. Almost a third. These are real fun modes, though, so I'm glad to be in part of this.
Yeah, we really just wanted everybody to be able to come out and have fun, have some modes that people say, hey, yeah, I want to play that. That sounds like it's going to be a good time.
This one's fun just because you have to be a little more careful with your health, and Atomizer doesn't always let you be planned perfectly.
Yeah, you always have 6 hearts, so even late game you have to be careful.
Yep. I started picking up fairies, which came in handy.
I probably should have picked up 1 or 2 more, but it worked out.
Yeah, Aerinon, there was more than once where I was just like, oh no, Aerinon died, and then a second later, it was like, oh, but Aerinon has all the fairies, never mind, this is not as big of a deal as I think.
Yeah, with the fairies you can be a little more risky, so it helps.
So, which one of you picked this mode? Did you both agree on it, or did one of you
Oh,
pick?
I let someone pick this one.
Yeah, I picked this mode.
Okay. Aerinon, what are you thinking for do you know yet for your second matchup, what you might want?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just probably going to go through all the different modes. I just like the variety.
Yeah,
So I
haven't played.
Yeah, I just picked one I haven't played yet. I played Pot Hunt last night, so we'll pick something else.
All right, that's good to hear. Yeah, it's been fun to see. It seems like Pot Hunt and Invertacrismizer have been pretty popular so far, so it'll be interesting to see what your second matchup ends up being.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, any final thoughts from either of you? Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start getting a raid underway. We've got another tourney match going, although not restreamed.
Sounds like a plan. It was good. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for all your work.
Yeah, thanks for hosting us.
Yep, thanks for putting on the show. We'll look forward to both of you getting some more of the tourney matches in here in the next couple of weeks. With that, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this thing up. We'll start getting the raid command for TJ Maelstrom, who is playing Professor Renderer. I'm not sure what mode they have. We can probably find that one out really quick, but thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit on your Saturday afternoon or evening, or maybe even Sunday early morning for some of you. It's been a good time, Royale. Thanks for keeping me company in the booth. I definitely needed the breather every now and again as the restream needed to be babied a little bit, but such is life.
Yes, my pleasure. Happy to help. It was super fun. And I just checked real quick. TJ and Renderer are playing Pot Hunt.
Ah, okay. So that seems to be the really commonly, most commonly and universally enjoyed mode of the majority of the players in this tournament. Not surprised that that's what they're playing. And I feel one of the more interesting modes to watch, because as one runner or the other hits density, you can have swaps of lead change, being the gigantic Triforce hunt that it is. So here we go. Gonna kick this raid thing off. One more thank you to everybody. Thank you, Aerinon and Someone, for agreeing to be restreamed on this one. And we'll be back in the future with some more AVIANART tournament action. Until such time, have a great rest of your day, everybody, however you choose to spend it, even if it is cheering on TJ and or Renderer in this match that is already underway. Goodbye for now.